Agriculture Fund. Ministry of Defence ready for big push to ATMANIRBHAR initiative, will introduce import embargo on 101 items. Country records single-day spike of over 64,000 cases. India crosses COVID-19 tally of 21 lakhs. Indo-China talks to take forward disengagement process along line of actual control. And Meghalaya Cabinet approves policy of 50% reservation for women in village employment councils. Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin. This is Sangeeta Bhattacharjee. Now with the details. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today launched a financing facility of 1 lakh crore rupees under the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund for agri-entrepreneurs, startups, agri-tech players and farmers groups for post-harvest management and nurturing farm assets. Only 30 days after the Cabinet formally approved the scheme, the first sanction of over 1,000 crore rupees was made to over 2,280 farmers' societies today. The event was conducted through video conference and attended by lakhs of farmers. Modi also reiterated that India has a huge opportunity to invest in post-harvest management solutions like warehousing, cold chain, food processing and build a global presence. He also said that this scheme provides a good opportunity for startups in agriculture to avail the benefits and scale their operations. However, Modi also released the sixth installment of 17,100 crore rupees to more than 8.55 crore farmer beneficiaries under the PM Kisan scheme. The Ministry of Defence is now ready for a big push to the ATMANIRBHAR initiative. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said his ministry will introduce import embargo on 101 items beyond given timeline to boost indigenization of defence production. The Defence Minister in a series of tweets said, taking cue from the call of Prime Minister for a self-reliant India, the Ministry of Defence has prepared a list of 101 items for which there would be an embargo on the import beyond the timeline indicated against them. The minister estimated that contracts worth almost 4 lakh crore rupees will be placed upon the domestic industry within the next 6 to 7 years. Singh said items worth almost 1,30,000 crore rupees each are anticipated for the Army and the Air Force, while items worth almost 1,40,000 crore rupees are anticipated by the Navy. The minister said that this is a big step towards self-reliance in defence and will offer a great opportunity to the Indian defence industry to manufacture the items in the embargoed list by using their own design and development capabilities. In the corona update from across the country, with a record single-day spike of 64,399 cases, India's COVID-19 tally has crossed 21 lakhs, taking the total number of cases to 21,56,756, out of which 6,28,747 account as active cases. However, the number of recoveries too have surged to 14,81,825, with a record 53,879 people recuperating in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, the nationwide death toll rose to 43,498. According to ICMR, as many as 7,19,364 samples were tested yesterday, which is also the highest in a day so far. In the Northeast corona update, many states in the region are witnessing a spike in COVID-19 cases. As per the official data, Assam has 57,714 cases with 40,591 recovered and 140 deaths, while Arunachal Pradesh has total number of 2,117 cases, 1,430 recovered and 3 deaths. Manipur has 3,635 cases, recovered 1,926 87 cases and 11 deaths. Meghalaya has 1,023 cases, recovered 423 and 6 deaths. Mizoram has 593 cases, recovered 296 and no death. Nagaland has 2,688 cases, recovered 896 and 7 deaths. Sikkim has 860 cases, recovered 470 and 1 death. And Tripura has 6,146 cases, recovered 4,176 cases and a total of 41 deaths. With rising cases in the state, the Kohima District Task Force held an interactive meeting on COVID-19 with the leaders and representatives of all 19 wards under Kohima municipality on 8th August. The meeting was organized in order to improve the coordination and understanding between the Kohima DTF and the community leaders so as to contain the spread of the COVID-19 virus and to handle the overall situation smoothly and more effectively. Nekesali Kire, Advisor Urban Development and Municipal Affairs and Legislature in charge Kohima District, also attended the meeting and addressed the gathering about the urgent need to practice social distancing and to promote healthier lifestyle and maintain personal hygiene. He called upon everyone present to contribute in every way possible to the fight against COVID-19. In the Corona update from Assam, through a tweet by State Health Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma, owing to the gradually improving recovery rate, 1,782 patients were discharged on the 8th of August. With this, the total number of discharge now stands at 40,591. As per data, the total number of COVID-19 cases stands at 57,714, out of which 16,980 account as active patients, while with 8 deaths reported in the last 24 hours, the death toll of the state has increased to 140. At least 9 people died and several others were injured after a fire broke out in a hotel turned COVID-19 care center at Vijayawada this morning. About 30 COVID-19 patients were being treated and 10 paramedical staff were assisting them at the time of the tragedy. Electric short circuit is suspected to be the cause of fire according to preliminary reports. Distressed by the news, Prime Minister Modi had called Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagamohan Reddy over phone to express his grief and shock and assured him of all the assistance and also tweeted regarding the incident. Meanwhile, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister has announced an ex gratia payment of Rs 50 lakh to the families of those killed in the accident. The Chief Minister also directed officials to take necessary steps to provide better medical facilities to the victims and also ordered an inquiry on the accident. India and China held Major General level talks on the 8th of August to take forward the disengagement process along the line of actual control LAC in eastern Ladakh. The talks began at 11 a.m. at a border personal meeting point in Daulat Beg Oldi DBO area on the Chinese side of the LAC and continued late into the evening. The meeting primarily focused on implementation of certain decisions taken at the 5th round of talks between corps commanders of the two armies last week on the disengagement process. The two sides discussed various finer details on taking forward the disengagement process and the friction points where the withdrawal of Chinese troops is yet to complete. The Indian delegation at the talks was headed by Major General Abhijit Bapat, General Officer Commanding of the 3 Infantry Division. It is learned that the two sides also deliberated on having a specific timeline for withdrawal of troops from all the friction points. In what may be termed as a historic decision, the Meghalaya Cabinet on Friday approved the policy on reservation of seats for women in village employment councils, the VECs, that reserves at least 50% of seats for women. The policy states that position of the Secretary of VEC will be reserved for women members in all VECs on a rotational basis. Adult women who are active community workers with leadership qualities can contest for this post. The position of chairperson will also be reserved for women in VECs where the posts of chairperson are not held by the traditional heads, and this will also be on a rotation basis. A considerable amount of respite has been witnessed by Assam regarding the flood situation, while 98 villages in 4 districts of Dhemaji, Baksa, Kokrajhar and Morigaon still continue to remain under the impact of flood waters. As per today's flood reports prepared by Assam State Disaster Management Authority, the only river flowing above danger level in the state is the Brahmaputra at Nimatighat, Jorhat, whereas the total number of flood-affected population has decreased to 6,435. The death toll due to flood remains constant at 110, with only 73 people taking shelter in one flood relief camp in the state. Just a day after the 78th anniversary of the Quit India movement was celebrated across the country, 5 freedom fighters in the state were felicitated today. In Guwahati, 103-year-old Surendranath Kalita was felicitated by Additional Deputy Commissioner of Kamrup Metro Manoj Kumar Sekaria and Assistant Commissioner of Kamrup Metro Hemanta Kumar Datta. Dijendra Mohan Sharma, President of Assam Freedom Fighter Association, was also present in the occasion.
আজি আমি আমার দেশৰ মাননীয় রাষ্ট্রপতি মহোদয়ের তরফৰ পৰা প্ৰেৰণ কৰা হাল আমাৰ চল দিছে এটা আৰু লগতে আমাক এটা অঙ্গবস্ত্র দিছে যেটো আমি আমাৰ সন্মানৰ শ্ৰদ্ধাৰ সুৰেন্দ্ৰনাথ কলিতা দেৱক আমি আজি সন্মান কৰি ইয়াত প্ৰদান কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আছো কামৰূপ মহানগৰ জিলা প্ৰশাসনৰ তৰফৰ পৰা। মই অতিৰিক্ত উপায়ুক্ত কামৰূপ মহানগৰ জিলা মনোজ কুমাৰ চিকাৰিয়া আৰু মোৰ লগত আমাৰ এছিষ্টেণ্ট কমিশনাৰ হেমন্ত কুমাৰ দত্ত আৰু আমাৰ এজন জুনিয়ৰ এছিষ্টেণ্ট আছে। আমি ডিসি মহোদয়ৰ নিৰ্দেশ মৰ্মে আজি এই পবিত্ৰ দিনত আমি ইমান এজন আমাৰ মহান ব্যক্তিত্ব শ্ৰদ্ধাৰ সুৰেন্দ্ৰনাথ কলিতা দেৱক এই অঙ্গবস্ত্র আৰু চল প্ৰদান কৰি আমি আনন্দিত হৈছোঁ।
99-year-old Khotalota Gogoi from Tinsukia was felicitated at her own residence by Executive Magistrate Apurba Borgohai on behalf of the district administration. Narendranath Dadhora from Cholcholi Birohigao in Nagaon was felicitated by Additional Commissioner Jayanta Kumar Bora. 99-year-old Bhaben Bora from Shibosagar was felicitated by Additional Commissioner Kobita Kakuti Kuwar and Additional Assistant Commissioner Monika Kuwar on behalf of the Shibosagar District Administration. Freedom fighter Abdul Kader Chaudhary from Karimganj was also felicitated by Additional Commissioner Ranjit Kumar Loskar.
Actually, Quit India movement anniversary মানে 9th August.
The Bodoland Territorial Council BTC Principal Secretary has ordered termination of 29 illegal appointments in Transport Department BTC, which includes 8 Assistant Enforcement Inspectors and 21 Enforcement Checkers. The BTC Principal Secretary, through an order, terminated these illegal appointments, stating that it was found that the appointments were not made under existing government rules and relevant laws. The order stated that the entire process leading to appointments of the persons was totally arbitrary, as there was no advertisement or publicity and no public notice etc. were published for the purpose. It said the engagements have been made in an illegal and arbitrary manner by violating Article 14 and 16 of the Constitution of India. Meghalaya has achieved 90% immunization coverage and now ranks second alongside Kerala only after Telangana in terms of full immunization coverage in India. The immunization coverage has increased from 61.4% to 90% as per data from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It should be noted that between the years 2015 to 19, the state had one of the lowest immunization coverage in the country, which in turn had entailed an increase in infant mortality rate as well as maternal mortality rate, taking the state's MMR to be higher than the national average. And to end the news, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches financing facility of 1 lakh crore rupees under Agriculture Fund. Ministry of Defence ready for big push to Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative will introduce import embargo on 101 items. Country records single-day spike of over 64,000 cases. India crosses COVID-19 tally of 21 lakhs. Indo-China talks to take forward disengagement process along line of actual control. And Meghalaya cabinet approves policy of 50% reservation for women in village employment councils. And that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.